Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby, thanks for joining us. Can you believe it? We are here, end of the week, it's Friday evening. Whoop! Just me then, is it? Just me. We're super excited, end of another week, and we're going out in style this week actually, because we have got a brilliant show, one of my new favourites actually. I do love a masterclass, because I think it gives us opportunity to spend time on a particular product or on a particular style of crafting, and also because we're live for the 2 hours, it gives you the opportunity to get in touch with us, ask those questions with our expert who is in the studio. Tonight it is all about the fantastic layout collection. There are going to be options for you here as well, and I'll take you through those in just a few moments time, but we've got the layout collection on its own. You've also got small amounts of the layout Showstopper still available for you too, and I'll take you all around that in just a few moments time. Also worth bearing in mind that we are in our Love to Craft event. It's day 5 of the 7, and today we are all things florally. All things florally. So if you get on the website, you will be able to see the little drop down. It will come in just a second. There's Sheena's Garden Visitors. There it is, Love to Craft. You click on that, and then each and every day we've been adding lots of different little subsections. So we started off the week, didn't we, with tools, and then we added Spectrum Noir, and we've had colouring, and we've had embossing folders. Today is all about floral crafts, and the nice thing about this is you get an array of different things in there, obviously all to do with flowers, but you've got some creator cards in there, you've got some stamps, you've got beautiful paper pads as you can see, ranges including the fabulous fuchsia, Nature's Garden Vintage Rose. Look at that, you've got decoupage topper pads in there, and included in that things like that 12 by 12 paper pad in the rainbow. You've got little embellishments in there from the fabulous fuchsia collection. There's again more from the Vintage Rose. Oh, they're brilliant, the templates, the Build a Bouquet from the Say It With Flowers collection, Ditzy Floral 12 by 12 pad, and some really good savings to be had too. Also, you can see just as we flick through more things like Nature's Garden Delightful Daisies, Floral Elegance, and flower forming foam in there as well. So if florals are your thing, and I would imagine you're a big floral fan because florals make up a lot of the crafty things that we create, then that is definitely a part of the website you need to be exploring, and it will be there until 11:59 on Sunday. That is PM, of course, here in the UK. More deals to be added across the weekend as well. As I say though, we are here to talk all things layout collection. We will say a few hellos in just a few moments time, but let us say the most important hello to the man who I know is genuinely very, very excited to be here for this masterclass, because I kind of feel like this layout collection is his little crafty baby, if you like. It is the one and only, my bestie and yours, Craig Laird.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I do. I love this collection here, the layout collection. You know, this is one of those collections where, whether you are a beginner, this is absolutely perfect, because this is about composition, of course. It's about that layout, it's about colour, but what it's all about as well, the key thing about everything that you'll see what I'm doing, but obviously when Ben goes through the deal as well, it's about the sketch that's on each of the recipe cards. Now, you can deviate away from what the sketch is, but it's a good, perfect place to start, to follow. Now, you can do what you get within the layout collection, so I'm going to go over it all just shortly when we come back from Ben, but within each of the recipe cards you've got 30. Now, within the back of the recipe cards you've got the 6 steps, pictures and written. Now, what you can do is you can make exactly what's on each recipe card by using all of the papers and the components that's there inside. Now, what we also do is give you all of the dies. Now, a lot of the dies you'll see and you'll think, oh, I've got dies that look like that, or I've got dies that are quite similar, and you probably will. I will when I'm speaking to Leanne. Leanne does. Most of you will as well. Heart dies, star dies, square dies. But this is about having the right dies to do the right project on each of the recipe cards. So we've done launch day shows, we've done launch parties with Debbie. She's had her take on it as well. So what we've done now with this masterclass is I've got an array of projects. What I'm going to do, Ben, is I'm going to follow the sketch on every single recipe card, but I'm going to change it. I'm not using the papers and the pattern papers that you get within the collection. I'm going to use the foil press. I'm going to use a craft box. I'm going to use our stamps. I'm going to come along and use our Hunky Dory products as well. It's all about the sketch, but then, as I said before, you can also deviate away from what the sketch says. It's a good starting point, and if you're an experienced crafter like we all are, then these are great for when you use and lose the crafty mojo, Ben.
Absolutely right. It's a brilliant collection. I will take you through the deal in just a second. A few hellos coming in though. In fact, to say a few hellos, lots of hellos. We've got Rachel and also Jan on the socials tonight. Already in is Jessica Stricker, who says hello everyone. Hello. Teresa joins us saying hello. 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 Shadai says, hi, Lord Ben and Craig. Not sleeping yet. Hopefully you can stay awake throughout the show on the clock tonight. Well, hopefully you can stay with us, Shadai. We always appreciate your company, as we do you, Carol Dunn, and you, Lois, who says, good afternoon, everyone from Ohio. Elle Wilson says, hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to this masterclass. Margaret Frasina says, snow shoveling done. Time to craft with the dynamic duo. Where are you, Margaret? Where are you shoveling snow? Let us know. Cindy Condi says, so excited for the layout and for the hat foiling. Yeah, it's going to get hot in here tonight with the Hattie Scutty. Marnie says, hello, everyone from Arizona. Hello. Hi, Zoe Carver, who says, good evening from Brian and me in West Sussex. Hello, Barbara in Indiana, and Lynn Morton just up the road. Hillary's with us as well, saying, hi, everyone from Hill, and Holly Collie. Hi, Holly. Aroo. Thank you to you for that. And also, it says, thank goodness it's Friday. I know. Thank goodness. It's Friday. Jane says, hello again all. Just finished making chocolate purple hearts. Yum. And Teresa Adams says, good morning, Ben and Craig. Good morning. Keep the comments coming in. Let us know what your weekend holds. What are you doing? What are you up to? Crafting or not? Or let us know what you're crafting. Let us know what your plans outside of crafting are too. And also do ask those questions. That's what these masterclasses are all about. We will fire in as many as we can to Craig, who I know has got lots planned for you. But if you've got a question, if you've got this collection and there's something you don't quite understand, ask. If you're thinking about getting it, but you need to ask a question before you buy it, ask. We've got the Showstopper available for you, where you are basically going to get a whole host of other extra goodies on top of the layout collection. The layout collection on its own, right, comes beautifully boxed. You are also going to get your binder with that too. And listen to this, to break it down, you get 11 die sets. So it's a 48-piece set in total. You're getting 39 stamps included in there as well. As Craig's already described, you get your index and then your 30 recipe cards, which are going to go into your binder. You get magnetic die storage panels, 2 of those to pop your dies on. You're going to get the stamp storage panels, 2 of those for all of your stamps, of course, and then you're getting 3 embossing folders, so 2 2D embossing folders, one 5x5, one by 5x7. You're getting a 3D embossing folder, which is 6x4, and then you're getting tons of paper, 8x8 printed papers, so you're getting 12 designs, 2 of each, which gives you 24 sheets of linen cardstock in 8x8, 6 colours, 4 of each. You're going to get satin ribbon, 9 rolls of satin ribbon, 3 thicknesses, 1 metre of each, and you're also going to get 100 gems to go with it. If you go for the Showstopper, you then also get this added bundle. You're going to get the 12x12 Wild at Heart paper pad. You're also going to get on top of that your beautiful linen cardstock from the fabulous Fuchsia collection. That's 25 sheets, and we're going to give you one of our glue tape pens. It works out that you're paying an extra £15 or $20 on top of the price of the layout collection, whereas if you went for those separately, you'd pay an extra £33 or $46. So you're making a nice saving there. Not many of the Showstoppers left, and if you just want to go for the layout collection on its own, that is also available for you on the website. So there are those options. Let's get into it with Craig. What I would say to you is, and Craig's already touched on this, from my point of view, I liken this to the Academy of Colour, because the Academy of Colour was like a system, wasn't it? An academy for you to kind of start and watch all of the inspiration and take all of that inspiration and kind of, you know, get you to where you wanted to be with your colouring. This is similar, I think, for those of you just starting off in your card making. This is a one-stop shop to get you to that point where you want to be. And as Craig will describe, it's lovely that you get all of the goodies in here, but it's all about that sketch. If that's one of the things that you struggle doing, is like composing your cards, this is going to absolutely be for you, and you can follow it step by step by step using all of the goodies that you've got in the box. But then, as Craig's going to show you here, once you get more confidence and the ideas are coming to you a little bit more, you can then expand and start bringing in other collections, start bringing in things like your foil press as well. So this really, Craig, is a brilliant collection, and it is for everyone. If you're someone like me who just does a little bit and wants to get better, or if it's someone like you who's like a craft expert, this is a collection for everyone, isn't it?
It is, because when I was saying about, of course, with that sketch that you can follow to make your cards, but then what you can do is what you make can then go, instead of a card blank, it could go into a box front.
Yeah.
It could go into the front of a stepper card if you want. Expand it, it could be a scrapbook page. You could put it into a box frame. So there's all these different avenues that you can go down. So let's have a proper unboxing when it comes to this before we kickstart with the first demonstration. Now you have got your 30 recipe cards here. And as Ben said, these go into your binder. So you've got your 30 recipe cards. So number one there, Hugs and Kisses. It is number one. On the back here, you've got your 6 written, you've got your 6 picture. On the back of here, you've got a QR code. Zap that. That will take you to a 2-hour class that I done live.
Nice.
When it first came out. So you can go back, watch that, and get lots of other hints and tips. You will also find, I think it was about 2 hours that I done across on my Craig Laird CC YouTube. So you'll find that I done as well when we launched that. Again, I've done launch days here. Debbie's been in doing launch parties. So we've got lots of education for you to keep dotting back to and follow along. But you've got your idea, so you can make what's on the front of the recipe card using everything that's included, and we'll show you that. However, the key point of the whole lot, Ben, is this sketch.
Yeah.
This is the most important part of this whole layout collection. That's what you can start to follow along with when it comes to the layout of your projects. And as you'll see as well, you know, once you get started, you might want to make exactly what's on the recipe card. You might want to follow exactly what's on the recipe card. But then you can then start to change it. You can change it as much as you want or as slight as you want. So what I mean by that is you might want to put that there and then the sentiment there. So you've changed it slightly.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're getting started by following the sketch, and then you can put your own little crafty take on it. You can then, of course, expand that. So still following the steps, Ben, but changing the sizes to make them your own size. You can then go from 6 by 6, that could be 8 by 8 if you want. So there is the very first one that you can see there,
Brilliant.
and that's it finished, and that's using all the components that you've got from the recipe cards. Now, I'm not going to go through them all, of course, but I'm going to show you this one here. It's number 2. Once again, you've got the written, you've got the pictures. When you've completed it, if you choose to make it exactly as it is, that's how it looks. But you might want to change the papers and the colours.
Nice.
That's entirely up to yourself. So you've got that option. You don't have to do it exactly as we've done here, but you've got those options there. So if you want to change it, then of course you can do. But then as you go all the way through, you're going to see all of these sizes here. Lots of different sizes, lots of different ways, lots of different layouts. I mean, if I go actually back to that one there, that is that one.
Yeah.
So please don't think it's just big cards. There's some small cards, because I know you guys stateside love the small ones, but then you can, if you want to, Ben, expand that, make that bigger, still follow the sketch, but just make it bigger with your own
Well,
size.
you did a 12 by 12 project on launch, didn't you?
I did indeed. I did indeed, yeah. And we're going to be changing some of the sizes within this set. I'm not doing a scrapbook page, so as Ben said, when this launched on launch day, go back and watch that if you want to see how to expand it up to a scrapbook page. But there is number 4. So you're getting the gist of every single recipe card and every single picture and idea. Again, all 30 of them, Ben, you can make by using what's included within this whole collection. But then if I go all the way to, I think I've got it underneath here, number 29. Now we're going to use this one just shortly, but if you follow the sketch, follow the instructions, this is what it can look like, Ben. But what about changing the stamp for one of your own dies from your Sarah Signature collection? So again, and I'm going to keep saying this, it's about the sketch. So it's irrelevant as to what it is. It's entirely up to you. Do you use the flowers you get within this collection, or are you just going to follow the sketch? You might want to change the folder. You might want to change the die cut. You might actually then get comfortable and confident, turn it around, Ben, twist your sentiment at the top there, and change the layout of the card. So it's giving you that confidence boost as you go on. But let's quickly go through the contents and go back to Ben, and then I can get started with the demonstrations. Here are all the dies that you're getting included. Now this is what I was meaning by some of these, Ben, you might think, well, I've got dies like that at home. You might do. I do. You know, lots of us do. But these are all the right sizes to be using if you're wanting to follow the recipe card and the sketches exact. You might want to change them using your own dies, but you can absolutely do that. You've got your edgeable dies, you've got your embellishment dies that you can see here. You know, these are then used for things like tuck-ins as well, back there. So you've got the dies. You've then got your 4x6 3D embossing folder. These are all images, folders, products just for this collection. You've got your 2D 5x7 butterfly embossing folder, your 6x6 floral rose embossing folder. You've got all of your sentiments as well, so 20 sentiments, but then you might want to use your own sentiments. You've got them in there. You've got that full sheet here of all of these stamps here. So you've got all of them. Let me, Ben, just get, there we go. All of it. Look at all the stamps that you're getting. And likewise, you might want to use these completely out of the layout collection. You don't have to use them with the layout collection. Florals, I mean, there's that one there that I was just showing you a minute ago. So there's where that stamp's come from. So all of these to use as the focal point of your layout collection, should you choose to. But then you're getting all the ribbons as well. You've got the beautiful tones of the pastel tones there. You've got all of your gems as well. Then you've got all of your papers. So you've got your pattern papers here, all uncoated. They're all a matte, so you can tear them and rip them and spritz them with your shimmer sprays and ink them up and foil them if you want to. But you've got them to get started with. And then you've also got all of your 8x8 linen cardstock as well. So this is where I said, when it comes to the recipe cards, you have got everything to get started to make the projects on the recipe cards, but then you want to come along and change it, use your Nature Garden, Sarah's Sig, use your Crafter's Companion, use your stamps. What we'll say within many of the demonstrations, Ben, I've purposely used products that we maybe don't necessarily have in the range anymore, but it's to get you thinking at home. Get the layout collection if you've not got it. This is going to bring a whole new lease of life for all of your previous Crafter's Companion collections, or even stuff that we have just launched recently.
Absolutely right. If you've not yet dived in and taken advantage of this, please make sure you do it tonight. I honestly believe it is something that you'll come back to time and time and time again, and how nice to have all of those recipe cards in there, those 30 projects that, again, you can come back to, slightly change up, make bigger, make smaller, bring in papers from collections that you've already got, change up the topper, change up the sentiment, you know, change slightly the layout of it. Yeah, make it bigger, make it go as big as you want, go as small as you want. It's such a brilliant collection. Thank you for all the love coming through. Lots of lovely comments. Hilary says, I'm off for a week of crafting, not grafting, says Hilary. Oh, and Beth, so here's the thing. It's Super Bowl weekend as well, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Super Bowl Sunday, this coming Sunday. It's the Chiefs versus the 49ers.
So in Las Vegas, isn't it?
Yes. Now, I think we should pick a side each, and then on Monday, one of us will be a winner, one of us will be a loser. I've got to, seeing as my team here in the UK is the Exeter Chiefs, I think I've got to go for the Kansas City Chiefs, which means, Craig, you'll have to cheer for the San Francisco 49ers. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Whether you guys stateside are going to agree with that, but yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
Let us know in the comments. What are you guys doing for Super Bowl Sunday? What's the crack? What do you guys get up to? Who are you cheering for? Let us know all of that, because I feel like we here in the UK, I know the Super Bowl is on. I think they show it on the BBC. Or is it Channel 4 now, is it? I'm not quite sure, but it will be on.
It will be on.
But let us know what the whole crack is, because I love to kind of find out what you guys do, because I know you go to town on it. Rachel Jones says, I love my layout collection. It's really helped me with my cards, and Craig's videos have really inspired me to use my other collections using the sketch. Really looking forward to today's show for more ideas. Thank you, Rachel. Kathy says, wish I could watch, but we're in the car travelling to Chicago. Coverage is always a bit spotty on my phone.
CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. If you know that, you know. Everything goes back to wrestling.
Look in my eyes.
Well, I know we were talking about wrestling. However, WrestleMania kickoff last night was in Vegas because, of course, the Super Bowl were there.
Yeah.
That's why they done it.
Oh, and unbelievable, wasn't it? The kickoff. Didn't it kick off?
Didn't it just? So, is it The Rock versus Roman Reigns, or is it Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
They are saying it is, of course, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. He won the Rumble. He picked Roman Reigns. They've done a big U-turn. But then we're going to get a two-nighter main event. Are we going to get Roman Reigns and The Rock on one night, and then Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes on the other night? Who knows?
And now who's going to face Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins.
That's the other question.
I think whoever's going to win the Elimination Chamber from Australia 2 weeks tomorrow, they're going to then face the winner. But I have to tell you, I've made sure that I've got that weekend off from Hobby Maker in the UK, the 6th and 7th of April, because I'm staying up to watch it.
I think I might join you, actually. And don't forget, I'm coming around your house on the 24th, aren't I?
If you're still up for that,
Mate, I'm all over that. I'm going to come into Spennymoor, do me park run at 9.
Yeah.
And then the event starts at 11 our time, doesn't it?
Sure it is, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm up for that.
And if you want a lift home, I can always give you a lift home if you want. Because I doubt, still early in the morning, I doubt we'll be having any beers.
Yeah, well, I'll be in my car as well.
Oh, so I thought you were running.
I'm not running all the way to your house.
Got ya.
I mean, I like to run, but not that far. But that's going to be great. B says, I've been cyber stalking Craig for the date of this masterclass, and I nearly missed it, but I'm ready to go because I adore this beautiful collection.
Awesome.
Sherry Bolts is with us. Hi also to Joanne Michelli, who says, beautiful colour palette with the layout collection, plus you get the Wild at Heart and Fab Futures papers. Such a great deal. It really is. Good afternoon from a cloudy North Carolina, says Laurel. And as far as the teams go, Teresa's cheering for the Chiefs. Amber Rays, go Chiefs. Go 49ers, says Cindy. And Jay Pretty says, I'm not really cheering for either team. I just hope it's a good game. I'm more interested in the halftime show in the commercials. And Beth says, yay, I'm rooting for the 49ers as well. I'm going to my favourite adult beverages establishment to watch it. Michelle Chernenko says, I love how passionate Craig is about his wrestling. We're going to get into the first demo.
Yes.
One thing, Craig, could you just quickly show as well, because I've seen a comment here saying, can you quickly show how to use the lever arch file mechanism?
Of course I can.
Just show us that very quickly.
Let's do that, yeah. Now, you know, the recipe cards, all of the stamps, the dies, they'll fit in the lever arch. Now, for the sake of demonstrating, Ben, it's easier for me to have it all out instead of having it all in the binder here. But yeah, they're going to come in, so, you know, let's just start you from scratch. You're going to open it up. So it's going to be like that. So you're just going to lift that lever arch here.
Yep.
And then just pop in your cards here.
And they're all pre-punched, aren't they?
All pre-punched, yeah, so you don't need to do anything. We're just going to close that. And then this one, we're going to then twist over, lay that flat, and then we're going to lock it into place. That's then going to lock. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't like solidly lock it into place. You've still got give, but what it does is it compresses it and just holds it in when you've got that closed. So then to open it, all we're going to do is unlock it, move, and then lift. Take out the recipe cards, put in whatever you want, close it, turn over, lock, and then that's it.
Perfect. There we go. Anything else you want to see? Any questions you want to ask? Fire them our way. Thank you to Annie. Says, I'm probably going to watch the game. Don't really care which team wins. I want to see a good game, one that's close and not a blowout. And Carrie Spearman says, I'm having a bunch of friends coming over to cheer on the Chiefs. Since we're in Kansas, made a centrepiece using my library templates. I'm so excited. Feel free to send us any pics as well of anything that you're doing. Actually, I would love that.
I would as well.
Can we see pics for your Super Bowl weekend?
Well, certainly Monday when we're together.
Oh,
the day after.
Oh, yes, because obviously... Well, yeah, let's see pictures now of you getting ready,
yeah.
And then the aftermath on Monday, before and after. I love that. All right, let's get into it. We've chit-chatted. Keep the comments coming through there. We love that. We appreciate that. Craig, where are you going to start with us?
Right, let's start number 29, and let's start with what most of you are going to have at home. The pop-out scene kit. So
yes.
That one is number 38, Ben. So if you don't want to use it within the pop-out element, maybe you want to try a little bit different, then we're going to use this one here. So this one being number 29.
Okay.
Beautiful blooms, and this is how it's going to look. Just to let you know, if you don't have pop-out scene, this is one of very few collections I'm going to use within this masterclass that we do have in stock. So it's 38 pop-out scenes, and it is on the website if you want to grab hold of it.
Good stuff.
So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on the actual measurements, Ben. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the sketch. So if you want to make it as it is, then of course at home you can come along and you can then follow the measurements and then of course have it the way that you want. But again, this is about the sketch and showing you how you can use your collection. So what I mean by that, step number 1 here, so it's 5x7 card, I'm keeping it at 5x7, and the step 1, it's saying to use one of the peach tone linen cardstock within the collection. So what I'm doing, I'm not using that one, I'm using my own from the craft kit. So there we go, I've just done exactly as it says on step 1, I've just used my own paper. Then we've got step number 2. So number 2, it tells us about using our white cardstock with a matting layer of black card. Okay. Now, I'm not using black card, what I'm using the navy card that's also from that craft kit. So as we can see there, if I bring this one in here, we've now done step number 1 and 2 within the recipe card there. Yeah. But what it also says on step number 2 is to emboss it using the folder that you get included. Yeah. So we're going to emboss it, but we're not using the folder that's included.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go in with classic Hessian. So using what we've got within our stash here.
Question.
Yeah.
The folders and the dies that we get in the kit, what's the smallest machine we can use?
The MIDI. Or the Junior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I've got my 2D folder here. So base plate, Ben, and then our top plate. But you know by now, myself and certainly Debbie Fisher, we both love to put in our metal shim. Yeah. Just to give it that little bit of extra oomph. You don't need to. It's still going to give you a really beautiful emboss without it, but we do just like to add that in. So at the moment, I've done step 1, I've done step 2 exactly as it says within the recipe card. The only thing is, I've changed the papers, I've changed the card, and I've changed the folder. So there is now step number 2 done, and we are going to glue it all together. In case you think that I'm just going to sit them all together, we are going to glue them. I just want to step you through each bit. Then it's got step number 3 here. It's about going and laying a strip that's 7" by 0.65 inches. So what I've done is I've changed the size slightly, so it's not quite as thick. I've made it my own size, but once again, Ben, I'm following the step-by-step, which then relates to that sketch. So what we can do at this point is let's bring in my tape runner. So I'm going to use our tape runner that you get included within the bundle. So we've got that within the Showstopper bundle. So we're going to add that into there. Press it in. I know I've got my insert already good to go as well. So I'm just going to put that in now while I'm here. And it's something that I'm trying to do all the time now, Ben, is put an insert in. And it doesn't need to be a big insert or anything like that, just something ready to go that when I know who I need to give this card to, all that I need to do is stamp my sentiment, print one out, cut it down, it's there ready for me to get started. So let's go in. Always check your embossed layers because your cardstock can shrink. because you're embossing it. That card needs to get sucked up into somewhere. So therefore, what can happen is it can shrink your card. So I'm going to add this to my blue layer first with my tape runner. We're going to come along. We're going to add that. And of course, I could ink this, Ben. I could do my letterpress technique if I want to. So you can still do all your different techniques. What I'm going to do, because it's shrunk slightly, I'm just going to just trim ever so slightly.
Where was that textured embossing folder from?
So that was from the texture range that we'd done last year. Yeah, we'd done. I think there was like the rippled effect. There was the wood effect.
Yeah. Cindy's just asking. She said it's probably long gone. But if you type in textured embossing folders into the website, we'll have a look.
Yeah, if you remember as well, really, other than this craft kit, remember most of what I'm using is older collections and older products. And I've done that purposely so that it's going to get the thinking going. You're going to start thinking, oh, I've got this, I've got that. Instead of just keeping it to what's within a range now, it's going to make you think, oh, I've got this, I've got that, I can use this. So that's why I've purposely brought in older collections. So I'm going to go all the way through. So before I put that strip on, what I'm going to do with this one is let's add this on flat. So you can go flat, you can go in with your foam pads. So we're going to go and press that in.
Yeah.
Let's bring in our next step here, which is going on with that banner. So let's put that there. And I'm going to do that all the way throughout the middle here. So again, Ben, sketch, and I've followed it every step of the way. All that I've done is I've just changed the colours and the folder and the size. So at this point, it's telling us to be using our circle die and then also use that floral stamp. So I'm going to substitute the stamp for the die. So I'm going to use the pop-out scene die. Now for this one, what will happen, Ben, is if I bring in a bit of the brown card that's also included within the craft kit, if you remember, this is a cut-in die, so that will stay within my card. So what I need to do is I need to come along, is find the nesting die that's going to fit perfectly, and I could, if I wanted a bigger border, I could have used any of these. So let's use my tape. So let's take that one into here and press that in. Let's bring in our plates once again. So I'm going to run this one through here. So I'm going to add my plates. I'm going to do the full plate configuration. And we're going to cut that one in the brown.
Okay.
What I've already done is already cut it within that same blue cardstock that you get within the bundle or within the layout collection. So we're going to take the brown. So let's pop that one out here.
Yep.
So there's our two layers. What I'm also going to do, Ben, is I'm going to take that same outer die, so just the circle die that you get within the layout collection, and I'm going to go in with some white cardstock.
Yeah.
So this is white linen cardstock from my own stash. It's a simplistic die, so I don't need my magnetic shim. So we're going to run that one through. So we're going to do, I can't do anything without doing a drop shadow. Has to be done, has to be done. So let's take our base layer. And the reason I wanted to do this base layer is because I'll show you here. If I take my glue, so I'm going to do this so that we've got, the blue is going to be on top and the brown's going to be that drop shadow. But what you'll see is because you can see through the design, I just felt as I needed like a base or a platform, hence why I cut another circle within the white card.
Gotcha.
So if I pop that one onto there and do a shadow, so I'm going to move that in, manipulate that, and press that into place here. So if I bring this back in, I don't quite like seeing that strip all the way through, Ben. You might, but I don't.
Okay.
I think it needed something to level it out. So that's why I've gone in and I've used that same dye.
Yeah, it sort of finishes the scene off a bit, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Taking that background out.
And if you love Sheena's technique, you could do an inky background.
Yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know, that could be the sunset, that could be the moon if you wanted it to be. So you've got lots of options. So we're going to press that in. And then what I'm going to do is, while that dries, because I can use this again another time, Ben. I've already done one that's dried, that you can see there. And I've got my foam pads on the back.
Yeah.
So at this point, if I bring in the recipe card, what we're going to do is step number 4 that we've done. Step number 5, now it does say or show to do a matte and layer. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's going to work nicely on top of my base that I've done.
And again, this is all a learning curve. Carrie's just saying, so I could use my stencil instead of the embossing folder. You don't have to emboss at that point. You can stencil it if you want. You can do what you want, can't you?
You can do what you want.
Yeah.
You can emboss it, you can stencil it, you can ink it, you can foil it, you can leave it blank if you want it to be. It's entirely up to you. This is just the steps for you to get started. And then what we can then do is where here it says our sentiment.
Yeah.
So I've already done my sentiment from this craft box as well. So thank you very much. So let's take that off. I'm going to add my tape onto here. So again, Ben, we're following our sentiment down into there.
Yeah.
And then at this point, can you see that it's got kind of like the flourishes that you get within this set too?
Okay.
So you've got all those little leaf dies. Well, I'm going to change that, and the butterflies that you get within the set, what I've done is I've die cut 3 of them. So instead of putting the little floral flourishes, Ben, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the butterfly on instead.
Okay.
So if I put one there,
Cute.
let's bring one into there. And I'm just going to press with my glue, and then I'm going to bring in my 3rd one, and I'm going to pop one there. I'm going to then hold that into place, and then the only thing that I would do, if you want to, let's pop that back here, hold that in just for a second, and then if you want to add additional detail like gems or pearls, you can do. But essentially, Ben, what I have done, we're actually missing the actual florals onto there. But what I have done is I followed exactly what's on that sketch by going step by step.
Yeah.
But my end result could be that by using everything that you've got included. So if I bring that in, that is your recipe card that you can see here of number 29. But then if you use your craft kit or anything else that you want, you've got the ability to bring in the layout collection or change it, use your craft kits. And again, that could be stamp background, dies background, that could be absolutely anything. It's using what you've got within your stash, but following the sketch and the recipes.
And this is the brilliant thing. It's so interesting to watch Craig do this, because if you're getting this as a newbie, right, you've got the sketch, you've got the step-by-step guide. So I would imagine the first time you use it, you'll go step by step by step, and you'll follow the sketch to the letter, you'll follow the instructions to the letter, you'll follow the use of your cardstock and your paper and the dies and the stamps to the letter, and then you can go through all 30 if you wish. But what Craig's brilliantly showing here is that, do you know what, if you get sort of halfway through a project and you think, oh, actually, I don't want to emboss that, I'd rather stencil that, or actually, I've got another stamp that I want to use in place here, you've got the ability to be able to do that. It's just almost like giving you that sort of safety net, that sketch is the safety net, so you don't kind of lose sight as to where you're going. You can always refer back to it and go, oh, okay, so this is what I'm trying to create. How you get there with papers or colours or stamps or other things that you bring in is entirely up to you. But if you want to go step by step by step, you can. If you want to change it up, you can. And as you get more confident with it, you'll be doing a lot more like Craig is going to be showing you today and bringing in other things. I know we're going to see the foil press a little bit later on. You'll be resizing, you'll be going smaller, you'll be going bigger. It's just the start, I think, of a fantastic journey, and also a great collection for those of you who are more experienced like Craig. When you know, when the mojo's just gone a little bit and you want to be able to refer to a folder with all of the creation there, you've got it. You've got it within that folder and you can come back to it. Just a quick question, Craig, as well, because Ginger's just asking, I don't know if this is something you mentioned previously. She's saying, is Craig going to put a download with the picture on in a larger size?
So that's a really good question. Yes, so as I spoke to Leanne just before the launch day, and she says what we can do, if you guys want it, that actual image of that sketch that we've got up in this top corner, all that I just need to let her know is to let her know, and she'll speak to the team, and we'll see about getting it online on our website. So what I'll do, probably, well, it won't be till Monday now, I'll drop Leanne and our team a message and just say, can we please get all 30 of these sketches enlarged, but onto the website and our social pages. So I'll do that on Monday.
Excellent. Do like your card, Craig, says Stephen. And Sydney says, I never layered blue and brown before, but it does bring a very masculine touch, and I like that. Cindy Richmond says, Craig, your demos are so inspiring. Thank you. Very interesting colours, says Laurel Enos. I would never have tried that. Thank you, everyone, for all the comments. We'll read a few more out in just a few moments' time. I know there's some more Super Bowl comments coming through, so we'll have a look at those, and we'll come back. Stand by, because we've got more great demos coming up with Craig, including the introduction into this collection of the foil press as well. So for those of you who are asking for those foil press demos, they're still to come here on Masterclass, and we'll meet you back here in about 3 or 4 minutes' time.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm the soft craft expert for Crafters Companion. I've always crafted. I think because my parents worked at Shepperton Studios, I grew up at Shepperton. They were always working, so my holidays and my weekends and my evenings were spent at the studios, and I just sort of sit around with the other artists, and they'd give me a bit of clay to play with or some fabric. So I was always making things, and there were a couple of children around the same sort of age, and we just used to make clothes for our Cindy dolls. I'm flighty with my crafts. I want to try everything, so I go all out and I decide tomorrow I'm going to be doing candle making, and I buy all the stuff and I make candles, and then I lose interest and I move on to the next thing. I want to be able to have a little go at all sorts of crafts, and I've always been like that ever since I was a small child, so I think I can turn my hand and give anything a go. My craft inspiration, I think a lot of that comes from the internet, looking online, being able to watch sort of artists producing bits and pieces, as well as sort of just general crafters. But a lot of my inspiration came from sort of my mum and my mum's friends, which were all sort of great designers and people that created all sorts of different things. The Crafters TV audience have been so kind to me. So when I first started, and I've not been here a huge amount of time, and I've done a little bit of presenting, I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people, and we know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made and when they've been inspired by the shows. I think that's great. My biggest achievement, I'm going to put it on social media. I said that I was more proud of this than I was when I had my children. It was when I won a Demo of the Week. I was just absolutely gobsmacked that I'd won Demo of the Week. I don't often win Demo of the Day, so to win Demo of the Week, I was really, really super excited. Oh God, I can't give you the gossip because I promised that I wouldn't give any of the gossip away, but it is great. Lots of us stay overnight in a house here, which is brilliant because we all get to know each other on a real personal kind of level rather than just colleagues. So it's a really great atmosphere, and there's so much to learn from all of these people that I work with. So I feel really quite blessed to be part of this. It is a happy family, I have to be honest.
Super Bowl weekend. Evelyn says, I'm cheering for the 49ers since they have so many connections to the Denver Broncos. Ord says, read the wrestling. We could get Reigns Rock versus Seth Cody one night of WrestleMania and Reigns versus Cody the other. Do you know what? We were saying something similar, weren't we? That they might do like a tag team match.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Craig don't want it.
I don't want that. See, I'm one of those. See, there was that uproar. You know, we want Cody. I want to see Cody versus Roman Reigns, but I was elated when we were told it's going to be The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I've been waiting ages for that.
But I feel now the way that it's panned out, I'm not as fussed now because they've kind of gone pally-pally, haven't they now, The Rock and Roman?
But is there going to be a twist at Mania? Well, they're cousins in real life, so...
Yeah, but I love the whole thing initially.
About.
When he came out, he's like, I'm going to take the head of the table. And now it's like, all right, cuz, innit? It's a bit like that, but we'll see. Debbie Cantwell says, since I live in Michigan and the Detroit Lions missed the Super Bowl by one game, I made my husband a shirt that says, I hope both teams lose, go Lions. That is brilliant. I love that. Love that sass. Kathy says, when we were younger, every Sunday it was a family day. Wrestlings, lots of good food and drinks. Tracy says, wasn't sure about what to do with my pop-out scene box, and now I do. There you go, Tracy. You're welcome. That is still in stock if you want to pick that up. Pat says, better late than never. Hi from New Jersey. I really wanted to see Craig do his magic with the layout collection. And thank you also to Pat, who says, I love this collection because I overthink things and this gives me the layout and ideas that I need. And Craig inspires me so much. And Linda says, the dies and stamps alone are worth getting the layout kit for. They absolutely are. We'll take you through the collection in full again in just a little while, but I kind of feel it'd be good to squeeze in another demo if we can before the top of the hour. So what can you show us next, Mr. Craig?
Right, let's do number 6. So it's just a note that we're going to be using for this one here. So this is the one that we're going to do. But what we're going to do, Ben, is in actual fact, we do have this next one in stock. It's the Cheers to You collection that we're going to use. Keep it quite simple and straightforward with the sketch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one layer and then I'm going to take away the ribbon. I'm not going to add them, but then of course you've got that creative choice and creative play if you like. So let's go in with our DL or our slimline card here. And I've taken some of the pattern paper from Cheers to You. Now, what I've got here is step 1. The only difference at the moment here that you can see is I am going direct with my pattern paper.
Okay.
So I'm going to add my pattern paper into here. So let's add that into place. I'm going to then bring that in, and then I'm going to add that. So we're going to bring that in, we're going to pop it into place just here. So this one here is actually step number 3. You've got your blue layer all the way around here. So you've got your blue layer all the way around, but what I've done is I've then come along and then I've just added my pattern paper instead.
Yeah.
So step number 1, we've got step number 1, and I've added in my black cardstock all the way around. So we can see that one there. Step number 2 is saying to put a banner or a strip and also to put ribbon. So I'm not going to put any ribbon, Ben. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put my strip of card across. But no, you know what you can do as well, Ben?
What?
What about earlier on within Craft Vault?
Yeah.
And pop that in. Now look, that's just a little bit too short. So if I cut that, and then that's going to be covered when I put the topper.
That's the kind of smarts we need.
So we can do that.
That was the foiled broderie anglaise, wasn't it?
It was indeed. It was. So let's bring that back in. Let's bring in my tape runner. So let's add all this in. So remember that the image I'm going to use and also the pattern paper is all from Cheers to You. So we do have that in stock on the website if you want to check it out.
Do.
So I'm going to kind of line that up on my glass mat. I'm going to roughly kind of align that so that it's still in play. I think it's just a little bit ski-whiff there. So let's pop that in. Again, don't worry about that. It's a good way. If you've got something that's not long enough, Ben, cut it in half, because what we're going to do is you'll see, once we put the die cut, that's then going to be covered, so don't worry about it.
Kind of like when you guys got your cardstock, isn't it, for your mats and legs? You're never going to see it, so...
That's exactly what it's like. So you might have something that you like, that you want to use, but it's maybe not big enough, or certainly it's not long enough. Just cut it. And then there's always ways in which you can then disguise that join. So let's go in with my foam. This is just 1 mil foam pad, so it's really quite light in height, because we're still going to add some height with the additional layers. So that then we're going to pop into place here.
Okay.
So minus the ribbon, that's me done up till step number 3 by following exactly what it says and referring to the sketch. So we've got...
If you did it the other way around, sorry, all I can see now is an H.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's quite cool, actually.
Yeah, either way.
That is quite cool.
Or some rugby posts, if you like watching rugby.
Rugby posts, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Or American football posts. It's a Super Bowl card,
There
Craig.
we go, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And then while you're watching the Super Bowl, you can come in with some wine
Hey!
or a bottle of wine.
Love it.
So let's go in with some white cardstock here. So this is where we're going to do step number 4. So number 4, we're going to bring these components in. So the difference with this one, instead of stamping onto the scallop square, I'm going to come down one size. Remember, you've got all of these dies within your die sets. So I'm going to bring in my glass of wine here.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my alcohol-proof ink pad.
I just zoned out for a second then. You're using a glass of wine stamp. I thought you were literally going, it's Friday, I'll just bring in a glass of wine.
Oh, could you imagine?
I know.
That would be Wine Friday or something.
Hey, maybe we should do that.
We could try it. Lots of different wines.
I've always wanted to do a show like that, where you blindfolded and you have to try it, try the different wines and figure out which one's the most expensive.
You see, I would never be good about that.
Are you a wine drinker?
No.
You're more of a
rosy occasionally.
gin and tonic you drink, don't you?
Yeah, yep.
Rosé, but not a red or a white, really?
No, not a big fan. Not a big fan. So I've always wanted, Ben, to be able to go home at the end of the night and be able to sit and relax in front of the TV with a glass of red wine. There's something sophisticated about that.
Maybe listening to some classical music.
But, yeah. But no,
With a velvet jacket on and a monocle and a top hat. So you just don't like the taste of red wine then?
No.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it?
Nope. Nah.
You have to warm it a little bit, I think, wine.
Is that not just like mulled wine in a way?
No, not to that degree. I mean, just sort of maybe put it on like the radiator for sort of 10 minutes before you open it.
Okay.
It makes a lot of a difference. See, I can't drink white wine really. I love a glass of red, but white, I'm not really that bothered about it.
Oh, can you not?
No.
I can't say that I'm a big white wine drinker either. If I do go for any wine, it's rosé that I go for. And I know some people will say, well, it's not wine. Maybe it isn't, but it's the closest thing to wine that I can drink.
Yeah.
And this could be white wine, it could be rosé wine, it could be red wine.
Yeah.
But I know that I've gone along the bottom and I've stamped, off the bottom of my card.
Yeah.
Don't worry, because I'm not actually wanting the full image, Ben. What I'm wanting for this card here is just to have that square die just above that glass of wine here.
Okay.
So I'm going to then bring in my plate. So I've stamped out my sentiment and I've gone in with one of the banners.
Okay.
So we're going to cut that one, we're going to cut that one, and then the white scallop, what we're going to do is, we're going to cut that in white card.
When we got to the end of this demo, someone who has asked, I've lost the comment. Someone was asking to see all the different sizes of the squares if we can, just to see the largest size one.
We can do that.
And B's just asking, which is the best way to watch? Facebook, YouTube on iPad, or YouTube on TV? It's entirely up to you. I suppose YouTube on TV is a good option, isn't it, if you've got a big TV?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll carry on doing and then I'll tell you what I prefer. So if I go back down. So what we can do is YouTube.
You prefer YouTube?
I prefer YouTube.
Because you can get it on the TV?
So yeah, so whether it is, of course, Facebook, or whether it is whether of course it's YouTube, Ben, on my phone or on the TV, I prefer YouTube.
Why?
It's my go-to. I
Why?
find it always easier. I think, and it might be wrong, and I'll just say all that I was just doing here, Ben, is that square is 2 inch, and I'm just cutting to just a couple of mil bigger than 2 inch, so that I get a little black drop shadow. Because if I put that straight onto there, it kind of falls into place. But if I pop that into here, what happens is it lifts it. But yeah, this might just be me, Ben, but I actually think the quality on YouTube is a bit better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else would agree, but yeah, I think it is a little bit better.
See, I watch YouTube on the TV because my TV's a smart TV, but it's not smart enough to have be able to connect to Facebook and stuff. It has apps and that, but I can't connect to a browser on it. So YouTube on the TV. But then if I'm watching on my tablet, I always watch on Facebook. But I think that's just force of habit, really, more than anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't think it makes any odds. I think Facebook, YouTube, iPad, TV, it's entirely up to you. But the great thing is you've got the option.
Definitely.
You can watch on the phone, of course, as well. If you are watching on YouTube, of course, as well, don't forget to follow 2 great YouTube pages.
Of course.
At Craig Laird CC and at Ben Moseby CC for some great fun and crafty content and some entertainment as well. 2 great pages to follow.
Lots of fun.
Always.
Lots of fun.
And lots of fun to come
inspiration.
from the conversations that we've had today as well.
Definitely, yes. Nicola's come up with some cracking ideas as well. Some really good ideas. So let's see what's coming. But here we go. So I've just added that on. Now what I won't do, Ben, is I'm not going to colour it because I'll show you afterwards the one that I've coloured. But if I bring back this in, what I'm just doing here now is I'm just following step number 5. So that one can go into here. And then let's go in with our tape. And then we're going to pop that into place, which means now we're covering that gap. And then here on step number 6, it's got a little die cut circle. So I've done that, but I've used that pattern paper that's at the back. So let's add that in to here. And then to finish off, we can go in with our die cut sentiment that I've done. And we can add that on with our foam pads. And then that's me followed this recipe card for just a note for you. The only difference is I've not added the ribbon. And then there we go. So if I bring that one in to here. So there's number 6. There is it done exactly as the recipe card in the sketch says. But if you colour it in, and then I've just added some petals on instead, and I've added those petals, because you can always add on if you want to, and then that's how we can take the sketch from number 6, but then use our collection from Cheers to You.
Absolutely, blooming brilliant. And of course, we've got more demos to come in the second hour of the show. Good evening from the wilds of Wiltshire, says Sue Dixon. I usually watch YouTube on TV as I find it easier. Yeah, let us know where you watch it and how you watch. I'm very interested to know where the most of you watch us. Linda says, I watch you on YouTube on the TV, but then comment on Facebook on my phone. That kind of makes sense. Well, no, actually, does that make sense? Well, it sort of does make sense. Whatever's easiest for you, then. And Craig, says Pat, you have an easy flow to things when you're crafting, and that will never be me, lol.
The layout collection will help.
It will help. Oh, can you just show, before we get into the next hour, Kendall wanted to see the largest square that comes with the, with the kit. We were going to just quickly show that, weren't we?
So the largest square is the scallop one, which is 3.5 by 3.5, but the largest straight edge square is 3 by 3. So you've got 3 inch by 3 inch, and then you've got your 3.5 by 3.5. Okay. That's them both there.
Perfect. Hi to Sarah, who's joined us, saying hello. I'm a bit late. I tried sleeping, but I couldn't. It is now about 5 a.m. Saturday here in Melbourne, Australia.
Good day, mate. You're flaming galah.
Don't forget, if you go for the layout collection, I'll very, very quickly show you, because we are almost into the second hour of the show. You're going to get all of your stamps here. So these are the stamps coloured in for you that you're going to get within this set. Don't forget, in total, you're getting, 39 stamps, because you're going to get the set of stamps which you're going to be stamping and colouring, and then you're also going to get all of these sentiments included as well for all sorts of different occasions. And then the dies are just incredible, right? You've got a 48 dies in total, from banners to beautiful nesting tags. You then also got nesting frame dies in here of different kind of designs as well. You've also got the embellishment dies too, which I think are super cute. So you've got hearts and little triangles and stars and florals in there. Then you've got your decorative border dies. If you want to create a beautiful decorative edge drawer project, you can. And then, as we've seen Craig using as well, you've got all of your nesting dies. So there's your nesting squares, your small ones, and then your large ones. You're also going to get the same as far as your circles are concerned. You get some beautiful little scalloped edge dies as well in both the circles and the squares. And then on top of that, you're going to get all of your oval dies included too. As far as your embossing folders are concerned, there's your 6x4 3D embossing folder, that beautiful blooming flowers. And then you've got your 2D embossing folder, which is your beautiful butterflies 5x7, and then you've got your 5x5 fabulous florals embossing folder too. Plus, on top of that, you get 48 sheets of your paper and card, which all matches beautifully along with your gems, 100 of those, and then also your satin ribbon included too, all matching in colour as far as that's concerned. 9 reels of that ribbon, 3 different thicknesses, and you'll get your recipe cards. You're going to get your panels to store all of your dies and stamps in, and of course, I'm ready. You're going to get your binder to keep everything into. $75.99 or $95.99 is your platinum price for that Showstopper collection. Welcome if you have just joined us. Thank you so much. It's Friday night, just gone 6 o'clock here in the UK. Where are you? 1 o'clock Eastern, aren't you? Just gone 12 noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Final hour of this week here on Crafters TV. Don't forget, of course, if you want to see more over the course of the weekend, you've got all of the shows to watch back on Facebook, YouTube, of course, too, and you've got the 24/7 offering as well, with more shows, I'm sure, being added to come over the coming weeks. It's been a brilliant day. We've had so much fun. We are in the midst of a masterclass, learning lots more about how to get the very best out of your layout collection. The Showstopper is on the screen. I'll just give you the heads up on that in just a few moments' time. Don't also forget that over on the website, we continue our Love to Craft event. We've been running it right throughout the week, of course, to tie in with Valentine's, which is next Wednesday. Don't forget that. Oh. But it's brilliant, actually, because we've been adding lots and lots of different deals to the website right throughout the week. And yeah, there's lots to shop for there. So we started off the week with tools, Spectrum Noir goodies. There's drop-down boxes there for colouring, for embossing folders, mixed media, and today we offered you a drop-down box as far as your floral creations are concerned. So if you click onto that, you'll find tools, you'll find flower forming foam, you'll find collections with florals in, you'll find floral stamps and embossing folders and stencils. There's loads there. All of those deals in the Love to Craft section on the website will end on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So do make sure you shop those before Sunday. Few comments. I just wanted to tell you on the Showstopper, though, the layout collection is still available. A few of the Showstoppers still available. You get everything I showed you at the back end of the last hour as far as that layout collection is concerned. So it's 48 dies, it's 39 stamps, it's your index and 30 recipe cards, your project binder. In the project binder, you've got your 2 magnetic storage panels, your 2 stamp storage panels, 3 embossing folders, 2 2D embossing folders, 1 3D, and then you'll get your 8x8 printed papers, 12 designs, 2 of each. You'll get your 8x8 linen cardstock, 6 colours, 4 of each, giving you 24 sheets. And then you get your satin ribbon that I showed you just a few moments ago. 9 rolls of ribbon, if you like, 3 thicknesses and 1 metre of each thickness in 3 colours. And you've got all those gems too. That is the layout collection, which you can buy on its own if you wish. However, if you want to go for the Showstopper, we give you a tape pen. We give you your linen cardstock from the fabulous Future collection. That's 25 sheets. And you're also going to get the marvellous Wild at Heart 37 sheet paper pad. That is in the Showstopper. It is an extra £15 or $20 on the price tag. However, if you were to buy that individually, it would cost you an extra £33 or $46. So you are making an even bigger saving by getting that all together. But like I said, if you don't want the added extras, you can just jump in and grab the layout collection on its own. You'll find that on the Shop the Show page. Thank you to everyone who's been in touch tonight. It is a masterclass. I know Craig has got 2 fantastic demos still up his sleeve. If you want to ask any questions, fire them in to us and we'll get those answered. Trisha Scanlon says, hey, I've been looking forward to this. Thank you so much. I'm watching on Facebook on my phone as hubby is driving us home from work in London. Hello, Trisha and hubby. Melanie D says, I'm so glad to see more demos with this layout collection. And Sarah Brown says, Craig and Ben, without a doubt, you always make me laugh with your accent. Thanks for making me smile. You're welcome. No, because no, he's not laughing at my accent. It's because I always do the Australian accent. And then Craig always follows up with, g'day.
You flaming galah.
There you go. Although he forgot it this morning. But he remembered just now, so we'll let him off. Caramel Sorrel says, I watch on Facebook on my tablet, but comment on my phone as my tablet won't let me comment, but will let me reply. I can carry my tablet around with me to watch whilst I'm doing other things. And Laurie says, I love the layout collection. I need to use this collection over the weekend to make multiple cards. And that's exactly the thing that you can do. Batch make, create multiple cards. Cards, of course, that you can make to sell should you wish to do that. But the genius about this collection, as you've seen, is that sketch on that recipe card. So you can follow it to the letter. You can follow the step-by-step instructions on the back of that recipe card, using the papers, using the cardstock, using all of the embellishments, creating exactly what you see. And then when you become more confident, you can kind of change things just a little bit. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can slightly move things around just a bit. You can bring in other items from other collections to just change it just a little bit. Like, look at this gorgeous Radical Rach's card. How phenomenal is that? That's the one that you've just done, isn't it? It's the same sketch.
Yeah, the same sketch.
Yeah.
How fab's that?
But just taken a little bit differently again. We're not playing that game, Nicola.
That's the studded leather embossing folder as well.
Was that from the same set as the one that you used?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? Once you've got that sketch there, you've got that safety net, I think, to be able to change things up and go your own way and put your own sort of style in it. So it is incredible. One thing you might not have thought about doing is incorporating your foil press into the layout collection. And I know we touched on this. I'm ready. We mentioned this earlier on. A lot of people have been waiting for it. Now is the time to see this demo. So let's get on over to Craig as he puts his little own personal touch on this layout collection using the foil press.
Yes, we're going to use the foil press. So once again, I'm sticking with the actual sketch, but what we're going to do is I'm going to make it slightly bigger. So thank you is number 12 that we've got here. So I'm following that sketch, but what we're going to do is we're going to enlarge it, and this is what we're going to do that we've got here. Now, again, I'm not going to go over the measurements as such, Ben, because this is when you can come along and then you can follow along. The point is the layers, the sketch, and the composition is what I am following here. So to start with, what I have got is I've got my 5x7 card blank. I always like to, more often than not, do a top fold or a tent fold. So I've got most mats and layers done. It's just the foiling and then assembling that we'll do. But let's pop my insert in here. So I've got my card blank, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in one of my favourite foil press background stamps, being the honeycomb.
Okay.
So if I bring in my foil press, we're on all on and we're good to go. We're on green, which means we're ready. So we're going to come in, and then I'm going to pop this onto my platform here. Now for this one, what I want to do is I want to go to 50 seconds. So I'm going to go all the way up to 50 seconds here. We're going to pop that on, we're going to put our carbon plate on, and then we're going to press start. So what I'm going to do is I've got my white cardstock, and then I've got my papercraft foil. So when it comes to the times, if you've got your foil press but don't use it a lot, or you've still got it into the box, the times are what you're going to follow from the matrix that you get included. You may need to add a few seconds, you may need to reduce a few seconds. It's one of those things about getting to know your machine. I've used my foil press that much that I already have an idea as to the time that's going to need for each thing. So I know for this one here, for this size here, it's round about 50 seconds. Now, because of the environment, you know, it could be colder here than it is in my craft room at home, it could be warmer. So things like that could then just change ever so slightly. So I'm sticking with my 50 seconds here. And we're using our white multi-purpose and our gold papercraft foil. Now, as you said earlier on about the rub-ons, Ben, the rub-ons, your foil goes matte side down, but when it comes to your foil press is shiny side down, because this is what's going to adhere to your cardstock or your medium. So we're going to go in and we're going to pop our cardstock over the top. We're going to put our carbon plate, and then we're just going to slide out. Now, because I'm using the G2, I don't need my extender plate or anything like that. It can just go straight in with the A5 carbon plate that you get included. So as this comes out, what we will do as well is, before we move on, we will do the waste technique. So if I take this off here, look at that, Ben. How fab is that? So if you've got that honeycomb background, then brilliant. Right, before we move on, let's take that off. Let's do the waste technique while we're here.
A lot of people wanted to see this.
So waste technique, I'm going to go, Ben, and do reset. And I'm going to go 1 minute 20.
Wow, okay.
So you want to have a lot of time. Now, Jamie in my ear saying hot, hot, hot. It's not hot,
it's not,
hot. It stays the same temperature. It's the length of time that changes. So that always stays on high, no matter what we're doing, foil and waste, no matter what. So I've got it to 1 minute 20. So again, we're going to go shiny side down there. I'm going to bring in the bit of card I'm going to foil onto. So we're foiling onto that. We now need 2 shims. So I'm just using old shims that I use quite a lot here. This is black cardstock. As long as they're about 300 GSM, so that's 600 GSM, we're going to pop that on. And then we also need a magnetic shim from your junior. Now, what I do is I always have and use that same one, layer it up, Ben, and press start. I use that same one for my foil press. You absolutely can mix and match. You can use the same one for die cutting and the same one for your foil press. I just like to have 2 separate ones because it means I don't have to go raking for them, Ben.
Okay.
And that's why I like to do that. So we're just going to wait on that counting down for a minute to go.
Whilst we are waiting for it to come down, Zoe Carver says, that honeycomb design makes me think of chicken wire as well. I mean, absolutely, if you wanted it to be chicken wire on the card.
It could be. Easter coming up.
Oh, yeah, you could have little chicks behind the chicken wire.
Yeah.
Did you know, by the way, talking to chickens, they've done a chicken run too?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I never knew that.
Where have you been, Grandad? Dawn of the Nugget. If only Nug Nugs was in today.
What did you just say before when Nuggets was in?
If only Nug Nugs was in.
No, you said something before that.
Dawn of the Nuggets.
Is that what it's called?
Sure it's that, yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Dawn of the Nuggets?
Oh, there's Nug Nugs in some, or Nuggets in some title.
Nug Nugs, by the way, is Craig's nickname for Tracy.
For Tracy.
And he calls Tracy's daughter...
Happy Meal Nug Nugs.
Happy Meal Nug Nugs.
That is Tracy's daughter.
Oh, I'm ready!
So we're ready.
Catchy nicknames.
Going to slide that out.
Yep.
And then we're going to run that one through. Now, because we've got bulk to that, you will hear that change of pressure when it comes to the Gemini, so don't worry. But as that comes out, let's move that in, bring all of these, and then what we've got, Ben...
Oh, yes, here we go.
Look at that.
Boom.
No waste on that. You've got that little top bit just there. Other than that, look at all of that. And that is now the waste has been done. So I've got those 2 that I can use if I wish. But let's go in with that stag. If you happen to have the stag, here it is here. And I'm going to hit reset again because it's quicker to go right back to the beginning. So let's go 25 seconds. And I'm going to press start. And I've got my white card once again. And I've got a couple of bits of foil. I only need 1 bit of foil. But as that then counts down, we can foil that. And then I've got mine already cut to size, but we can choose, do we want that one, the positive, like I've done here?
Yeah.
Or do we want to change it when it comes to the negative?
Vote now, positive or negative. You've got 1 minute to get your vote in. Vote now.
Now, there you go. Let us know. So we're going to go foil, shiny side down. Now, what I would say, always make sure your foil is cut just to the size or a little bit bigger than your actual image. The reason mine is so big, Ben, is I actually planned on doing the waist technique with this one.
Right.
But I've changed my mind because I've done the background instead. We still do the waist technique for that. So with having excess foil, what could happen is I could get foil on my card where I don't want it. So let's have a look and see. Yeah, I can see it's being caught at the top there. But if I take that off, look at that. So this is how it's important. Make sure that your foil is just a little bit bigger than the image. And if it was, you wouldn't have seen it. It doesn't matter, because we're away to cut it.
Exactly right.
But there we go. We've now got our backgrounds, and then we've got our topper to go. So let's move that out the way now, and then let's start. Go just yet with the background, because I'll give you another few minutes to get your votes in.
Oh yeah, vote.
But what I will show you is how it looks. So let's go in. So there's our positive, and I've gone round with a little bit of black, and there is step one. Or do you want the negative, where I've gone in with a little bit of black? So you can see we've got the two options there. So we've got our two options to go for. What we will do in a moment, once we have got the result on the chosen one, where we've got the chosen panel, where we've got our 3 strips here, I would then add, and I've done them in black instead of green. Again, I'm following the recipe card, I'm just changing the colours that I want. So once we've got the result, we'll add that in. But here we've got the dragonflies. So instead of the dragonflies, what I have done is I've used the stag instead. So I've used the size die that it says.
Yep.
And we're going to then layer that up, and then we're going to die cut that.
We're just waiting for a casting vote on the... Oh! We have got a casting vote. It was a tie, pretty much.
Was it?
Yes. But we've given the casting vote to head judge, Radical Rach. And we're going for... Oh, never! So we've got Rachel and Jan who are on the comment. Rachel says negative, and then Jan says positive. Should we just... OK, Jamie, you've now got the casting vote. Positive.
You want the positive?
Jamie wants.
Right,
Is that what you
yeah.
would have gone for, Craig? No, because you went for the neg...
So
no,
I was going to do the negative, because
Yeah.
my finished one is the positive. So I was going to do the negative because of that.
We'll go negative then.
Well, we'll go negative because my finished sample is positive.
Angela says you could do positive with negative strips. I mean...
You could do.
You could.
You absolutely could do.
Sorry for wasting everybody's time with the vote, because we've just gone back to what Craig wanted to do in the first place.
It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. I would have happy have gone with anyone's decision, but that was my thinking, Ben. I thought
Yeah.
the finished one's the positive.
Yeah.
So I thought we could do the negative for the back one. So if I take my stag out there, and what I've done within our shedless glitter card, I've used the scallop square. And I bring this back in. So there is step 3 that we can see here. And then step 4, it's got the blue scallop. Of course, I'm using the gold. So we're now down to step 4. So now that we've gone for the negative. So let's bring in our negative here. So this is the one that I've already cut to size. So bringing in our card blank. Done a matte layer with our gold mirror. And the negative, just so that you know, I've cut it to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 and given myself a little black matte layer. So that's step 1. Number 2, let's bring in those strips here. So I've got strips of black card. I've already put my tape onto the back. So I'm just going to peel this one off. And remember, with each of these ones, you can change it whatever way that you want, Ben. You can change the size of the card, you could change the orientation, of course. It's entirely up to you, but I purposely, within all these demos, are following the recipe card for each one. I'm just changing what I'm using.
Lynn says she watched you do the stag head a couple of months ago with the waist too, and both looked amazing.
I see, I prepped this demo about 2.5, 3 weeks ago when I had the original date for this masterclass.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it that much that this full demo is also on my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel.
You got a YouTube channel?
I do indeed.
Oh yeah. What's your YouTube address again?
Craig Laird CC.
Totally. I've got one as well. Mine's at Ben Moseby CC. By the way, I'm 2 followers away from 500. If you could just, I only set it up a couple of days ago.
Well done.
Thanks. What have you got now? 3.7, haven't you?
Yeah, it's probably close to about 3.8 now, but you know, who's counting?
Exactly, who is? I mean, when you get that many, you probably just lose count anyway, don't you, really?
I'm getting to that point, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just hit 13,500 on Facebook, so yeah. Who's counting? Who's counting?
One day, Rodney, one day.
You won't be far and be off that number.
What my aim on Facebook at the minute is to catch the Debbies, because they had a bit of a head start on me, and I'm about 1,500 behind the Debbies at the minute, which is not too bad. But if you want to follow us on Facebook, Insta and YouTube, we're all at name CC.
We are indeed.
And you're on TikTok as well.
I am indeed.
How many followers you got on TikTok?
Oh, I've not looked on TikTok actually, yeah.
I might have a look.
For a wee while.
Oh, producer Nicola's going to have a look for you.
Should we have a look?
Is it in the thousands or hundreds?
No, it's probably hundreds. I wouldn't have thought it'd be thousands.
How do you decide what you're going to do on each thing? Like, what do you do on TikTok? More like jokey stuff?
TikTok is jokey stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely jokey stuff.
1,071 TikTokers.
Oh, yeah, I see that because it's just come up on my phone, Nicola, that you've just viewed my profile. Yes, you.
She's stalking you.
Yeah, TikTok is fun stuff that I do. I do tend to put them on my Instagram Reels as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a lot of fun. Do have a lot of fun.
One day I'll get across there, but I think Facebook and Insta and now YouTube is enough for anyone. Unless your name rhymes with
Craig Laird.
Schmed.
Where he's on all of them. It's all fun. I enjoy them. A little bit of fun.
That's it.
Just like this card. I had fun creating this card, whereas I followed each of the steps, Ben. But look at the difference from using it as the positive, but then using the negative. But each way, I followed the sketch, created the same card, made it a little bit bigger than the 4x6 size that we can see here, but a nice way to bring in your foil press now with your layout collection.
Yeah, and I think I've loved this show actually because I feel for me it's been an expansion of what we did.
God, see if you'd said you've hated this show, I would have been like...
I've hated this show. It's been so boring. No, I've loved this show because I feel it has been a follow-on from what we did in the launch of this because you were kind of very much more sticking to what was in the sketch, what was in the box and using those elements. So this show, I think, is a great follow-on from that to show you, okay, well, now you've created some of the projects and used that sketch, you can now bring in other elements. And how amazing to think, you know, if you've got the foil press, you can now start bringing in these elements as well. I think it's just about having the confidence to try new things and bring in different papers and bring in some of your different stamps and dies, but always knowing that you've got that sketch to fall back on each and every time you think about making a new project. Beautiful card, says Marnie Pinchoff. Laurie Townsend Geekman says, this looks awesome. And thank you to Roseanne Carboni, says, now that was a wasted vote. Wasn't it a wasted vote?
I'm sorry. Hey, it got you all involved with the vote. It got you all involved with the vote.
That's it. It all got you involved, wasn't it?
Even though they decided not to go for it.
We're going to have a short break. When we come back, we'll have another demo to bring to you. But don't forget, grab that Showstopper if you haven't yet got it. If you just want the layout collection on its own, then you can do that too. It's entirely up to you. Also worth bearing in mind, you can shop our Love to Craft section on the website. Loads there. And do check out the Shop the Show button for this show, because there are other items that you might want to pick up. But listen, let's give you opportunity to check out, and we'll come back in about 3.5 minutes' time.
My dad was a printer, which was the old, you know, the old Letraset printer, the type, the old printer's type. So he used to bring home offcuts of card. And so I always had paper and card around me from as long as I can remember. He would donate bits of offcuts to the school I went to, and so it was always accessible. My mum and dad bought me colouring products, art products, and good quality art products, like adult quality art products. So I found I could draw from a really early age. So really between that and crafting, it's just been punctuating all through my life. I think you can get inspiration from anywhere. It's hard, there's never one source. It's from anywhere. It could be a crafting person, it could be a non-crafting person. It inspires me in different aspects. It could be art, inspiration from artists, inspiration from crafters, or inspiration on just inspiring people. It's all about the viewers. If it wasn't for the viewers, then there is no purpose in what. What am I doing it for? It's not about me, what I can do. It's about what I can inspire the viewers to do. And if I'm not inspiring them, then I'm not doing my job. So it's all about the viewers, and it's all and keeping them interested, fired up to give new things a try, and mostly any blocks, anything that holds someone back is more confidence than ability. That's what I've found. So if I can inspire people and give them that little bit of confidence to give them the nudge, fantastic. I think the biggest achievement is keep doing what I'm doing for so long now. I remember, when I first started, everything's new. It can just, maybe the enthusiasm and the love for what you do might wane, but it hasn't. Here I am, as I said, 18 years further down the line, professionally crafting, and I think that's my greatest achievement, is that I'm still loving it, doing it, enjoying it, and the feedback's been incredible from the crafters, and that's what I'm doing it for. So that, I think, is my greatest achievement, and the feedback I'm still getting. Not many people know this, but I'm going to share this now. Is when I lived in America and I was 19, my lashes turned white. So this is still my hair colour. Oh, I'm getting on a bit now, but it's just my natural hair colour, dark hair colour, white eyelashes. I look like, the John Wyndham, the Midwich Cuckoos. I look like one of those little alien people with me if I don't wear mascara. Underneath it, lily white eyelashes. Go figure. I did worry for a while I was going to turn white, emanate now from my eyes, which would have looked very strange to try and disguise for a bit.
Thank you, everybody, for checking out your carts and your baskets. There is our lovely Sheena, who was with us on Wednesday. She's not feeling too well at the moment. I think she's got a bit of the old flu, so we send her our best wishes. And, of course, if you want to send her some get well wishes, you can find her over on her page. Thank you, Rachel. She's just messaged saying, I was subscriber number 503. Well, I will always remember that, Rachel. Thank you so much. She just ran all the way downstairs to grab a tablet to subscribe, so thank you. It's good, isn't it? Isn't it good that we've got all of these extra pages for you to be able to, watch more crafty content, watch some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, watch some of the fun stuff that we get up to. It's great. And like we said, we've all got these extra pages, so do make sure you check us out because there's plenty there, not only on all of our own pages, but, of course, on Crafters TV 24/7, where there's loads of shows repeated for you as well. Right. We are going to do... I feel like I was going to say something else and it's completely skipped my mind. No, I've done that. I've done what I was going to do. There was going to be something else. I think I was just going to throw it away. Oh, I was just going to say, hope you're enjoying the layout collection. Let's get back over to Craig, who's got another demo. That was it.
Right, let's focus on stamping. Who remembers our large collage stamps that we done here? Good number of years ago. Absolutely love these ones here.
Is that pre-me?
Yeah, it was indeed, yeah. Now, don't worry if you don't have a collage stamp, because of course you can create your own background when it comes to stamps. But I just wanted to show with the layout collection, your stamps, collage stamps, anything like that, you can, of course, come along and use. So what we're going to do is, do I need all my discs? No, I don't, because we're going to do the full image. So I'm going to bring in my dotty tape runner here, and I'm just going to put some dots on into place. Let's press that in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to follow number 7. So number 7 there is going to be, if I can find it offhand, let's have a flick through. Let's see, here we go.
I'm in number 7.
Number 7. So it's going to look completely different. Same size, but completely different. So let's bring in our big stamp here. So let's take the stamp that I've chosen, which is the newsprint collage. And we're going to add that onto our large stamping platform. So I'm going to add that on into place here. And then I'm just going to make sure that's at least going to cover my full card, which it is. So I'm going to use Chinese red here. So this is our pigment ink pad. So we're going to go over the whole of my image here. And if you are creating your own stamp background, then just take the stamps and then just randomly stamp all over your card. So we're going to press into place. So we're going to get all of that edge to edge. Now we would be trimming this down. I've got one that's already dried because we would heat emboss it. But I want to make sure that we get this and another one in, another demo in. So let's lift. I need to ink up more. I think ours is getting a little bit dry. So let's really press down into place, and then let's reapply that back in to situation. And the reason that I moved our discs, Ben, is because the discs would block, of course, my stamp. So therefore, we're just going to come along and we're just going to then tape down with our dots. Or if you're like Fisher and you want to use the repositionable spray, then you can do. Let's go just into here again, press that so we've got a good coverage. Again, our ink pad's starting to get a little bit dry, but on something like this, it's actually quite effective. So you can then take your embossing powder, so we would just use a clear one, and then I've done my heat embossing and I've trimmed that down. So I've cut that to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 there. What we can do is let's matte and layer that onto a little bit of black. I'll bring in the recipe card so you can see where I'm following. So let's take the tape.
Rachel seems to think these came out when the 8x8 platform came out.
No, it's much, no, sorry.
Back in early 2020?
She'll be right enough. She'll be right enough because it was the first stamp set to fit the stamping platform.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Wowee.
Yep. So if I bring my recipe cards back in here, so what we've done within this one, and this is where I've changed my layers slightly, Ben. Because it's saying there to take a piece of cardstock, 4x6, and then emboss it with the embossing folder. What I've done is I've done it 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And instead of embossing, what I've then done is done my heat embossing with my stamp. And I've given myself a little black matting layer. Step number 2 that we can see here, what I've done is they've gone in and they've matted and layered onto a bit of yellow. That's what I will do too, but notice I've given myself an extra white matting layer as well, just to make that stand out. So I'm still following the 2 steps, I'm just adapting it ever so slightly by adding in my own layers. So I'm going to bring these onto my card blank. So if I take my tape off, and then we're going to pop that into place, like so. So let's bring that one in there. Bring in our heat embossed layer from our stamp set, and we're going to pop that into place there. And then here, it's telling us to put 2 strips of pattern paper. So instead of doing pattern paper, Ben, what I've done is just done white card and black card, and I put some red gems. It gives you all the measurements that you need as well, so please don't think that you're not able to follow what I'm doing. The measurements are there. Certainly when it comes to the strips like this, I've kept the same size. And then we're going to bring that one in to the side. So if I bring that in to here, so I'm kind of spacing them exactly the same. Bring in our next one into here. The only difference with this one, Ben, is this one's a lot shorter than what I've done. But notice they've put tails at the bottom.
Yes.
Well, I'm not doing that because
Yeah.
you'll see the tails at the bottom showing, so it doesn't matter. So that is now the basis of step number 3 done when it comes to the sketch of this recipe here. So we'll set that out the way. Let's bring back in our stamping platform. And then still sticking with the same set of stamps, what I've done is I've stamped out the butterfly and I've done some clear embossing powder once again. So we've got our butterfly.
Beautiful.
Not only that, what we've done, can you see here, if I bring in the recipe card, see how they've got 2 floral stamps here from the layout collection? They've die cut them in 2 little circles. Well, what I've done is I've taken one of the little postmark stamps, that one there.
Yeah.
So instead of the floral stamp from the layout collection, I've just taken that stamp set.
Okay.
So replicating exactly what it says within the actual recipe card, but just adding my own additional take to it. We're going to go in with our nesting frames here. So for that one, let's go in with the smallest one.
Oh, perfect.
So that's going to be that perfect fit that you can see here. So let's bring that in and then let's tape that down. So we're going to tape that into place here and then into here. Let's take the circle die, which also, Ben, perfectly fits round here as well. So look
Like
at your
a glove.
stash, see what you've got,
Yeah.
see how it all works. And even if it was a little bit bigger or so, it wouldn't really matter. And let's take our plates. So, oh, that's the other thing that I need to do. The white luxury card that we do, what I've done is I've gone along here and I've taken I'm just going to check my finished one. Is that, no, it's right enough. So that's the smallest one, and that's the medium one. So we're going to cut that out into the red luxury. We're going to tape that down into place. So let's use our plates here. So these are all simple shape dies. So I'm going to take my base plate, I'm going to take my frosted and my top plate. I don't need my magnetic shim for this one. We're going to run that one through. And then that's obviously going to die cut those layers. And then what I'll show you, the ones that I've already die cut. So that one there with the butterfly and that smallest tag, I've done again in black.
Okay.
No, I need to do it smaller. So there's our red butterfly with the smallest tag. So let's take that one off. There's my black card, I knew it was somewhere. And we're going to run that one through as well because we're going to give ourselves a little drop shadow.
Yep.
Feed that one through.
Beverly's just messaged to say she started at number 1 and now up to 26.
Oh, fab.
I put my own spin on some of them and used older collections as well, and that's what it's exactly what it's all about. And in fact, I'm just hearing we've got some of Beverly's pictures coming through, so we'll have a look at those before the end of the show.
Excellent, looking forward to that. So there, I've done 2 with the small there, so that's going to give me my drop shadow there, Ben. Then that largest one, it's the medium one now, isn't it, that we've done within the red, that's then going to be lifted into place.
Yeah.
So let's do our drop shadow with the black. That one, we're going to bring in our foam pads here, and that can then go on right into the middle of the red. So let's bring that into there. I'm going to bring back in, because at the moment, they've just done the rows onto that top layer of white cardstock. I've given myself that additional matting layer. So this is how you can keep doing and adding additional layers if you want to. You don't have to. So I've die cut 2 of those circles. That same circle there, Ben, what I've done is I've die cut into black card. And let's start to assemble this. So that one we're going to add onto our black. Once again, I'm going to do a drop shadow. So let's pop that into there. let's bring that one into here.
Lovely.
Like so. Let's bring this back in, and then all that we need to do is assemble it by finishing. So we've done 1, 2, 3, we've done 4. We've adapted some of the layers, but we've still followed that the sketch.
Yeah.
We're going to bring this back, as we can see where that rose is. So that one, let's add our tape on here, because I'm going to keep this layer flat. We're going to pop that here, so I still see a little bit of that tail, which you can see just here. And then to finish, let's bring in foam pads once again, which are optional. And then where you've got your 2 roses, we're going to pop one on into here, like that. The only thing I'm not doing, Ben, is adding a little circle sentiment, because my sentiment is already within there, so I don't feel the need to do that.
Okay.
So pop that in. So we've now done step 1 to 6, following that sketch, which the original card is that one, but we've used our stamp set to then create that full card.
Absolutely brilliant, and you've inspired Ords on YouTube, who says, I've just bought myself the layout collection. I think it's a great buy, honestly, whether you've gone Showstopper or just the collection on its own. Look at everything you're going to be able to do and all of the different kind of cards you're going to be able to create. And the great thing is also, not only have you got, when you scan the code, the video, oh dear, it's been a long week, the video with Craig with all the inspiration, but then you've got the launch show, which you can go back to. You've got this show, of course, as well. So there's plenty of inspiration out there, so you can get the very best out of this set. Beth Noob says, I've got this collection, but I haven't yet used it. Well, maybe tomorrow, this weekend is the time to get it out. Now you've had the inspiration from Craig. Donna says, I'm loving this card. And thank you also to Nonu, who says, I think I'd be inclined to use something similar from a paper pad. But that's the great thing about this, isn't it? It's entirely up to you to decide what you're going to incorporate with it, whether you're just going to stick with the contents that you've got in your collection, or you're going to incorporate new things in, new stamps, new dies, you know, new papers. It's over to you, really, really is. Beverly says, another amazing card. Talking of amazing cards, should we have a look at some of the cards that you guys have been making with this collection? I mean, this is exquisite, Angela.
Wow.
How gorgeous is that? Wow. Oh, so you've done, is that on the little easel at the back there?
Oh, that's so smart.
That's such a cool idea. So the little recipe card up on the easel, and then you've created that beautiful project. That embossing folder is absolutely stunning, Angela. Thank you so much. And then this one here, a bit of glitter paste on this with one of those fantastic stencils that we launched just a little while back. Beautiful florals on there with that with love sentiment. And I kind of feel that that is one of the recipes that we've got within the set, but just sort of changed slightly.
Well, completely changed. Yeah. It completely changed. It looks fab with the glitter pastes and that.
Yeah. It's so good though, isn't it? Even just by, like you say, adding in maybe glitter paste where there wasn't it, or maybe moving just elements of the card to create it slightly different. And yeah, even just that floral embellishment at the bottom, just so much option. It's all about going back to having that sketch there to fall back on, I think. Beverly, here we go. So Beverly says she's crafted 1 to 26. She's using her G2 to do this. So what about this one, Craig? Look at that, absolutely brilliant.
Really, really nice. You can see there within the original sketch, you've got the scallop edge there, but look what she's done there. And instead of embossing it, I think that's a stencil, isn't it? Sure, that's a stencil from Garden Party, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's that one there. But yeah, following along, but then just moving the sentiment down, adding our own embellishment, still following the sketch, but then just adapting it slightly to her take.
And like you say, adding in a few little embellishments there, using a slightly different die set to the one on the actual recipe card. But again, absolutely brilliant. And this one here, I mean, look at this. I love these pictures, Beverly, because you're showing us which ones you've done and how you manipulated it just a little bit. So the birthday butterflies and blooms, number 21. See how, you know, it's laid out in the recipe card, but then you can see Beverly's take on it. I mean, I absolutely love that with the Dragonflies collection you've used there, haven't you?
Really, really smart. Yeah, and just instead of doing the the 3 panels, doing 2, and then substituting the bottom one for, of course, that bridge as well. Love it.
It's so great. I love this. You guys have like taken this amazing collection and sort of ran with it and you know, gone your own way with it. And then Hillary has created this. I mean, that is magnificent. magnificent.
Completely different to, of course, what's in the recipe card there,
Yeah.
Ben, but with their own choice of papers and colour, and then adapting the layout ever so slightly. And that's the chances are at home, Ben, you probably won't always do the layouts exactly as it is. You're going to adapt it, even if it's just ever so slight, put your own take on it.
Yeah, and I think, again, the more you work with this collection, the more you'll get in your mind how things are going to be pleasing to the eye, and you'll start then creating and doing your own thing. And Sandra, this is fantastic as well. I love what you've done with your project here. You just propped up on your keyboard there. Again, loads of different elements used within that, but I love that, using elements of the embossing fold, a bit of inking there. Really, really beautiful project. Sandra, thank you for that. And then Teresa, loads of projects. This is
absolutely brilliant.
So this one is the one that had the actual the little triangle, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
To create the sunshine.
Yep.
But Teresa's just sort of changed it slightly, changed the colours and popped up. Well, she popped underneath there like little.
It's like a die-cut corners or something, isn't it?
Corners, yeah. But same sort of idea, but just again, Teresa's twist on it, which is so great. And again, final one from Teresa again, just showing you all the possibilities that you've got with this set. I loved all those pictures. Thank you, everybody. It's so good to see what you guys do with these sets. And don't forget, you can always tag us in any of your makes. It's lovely. Always send your pictures through to the studio, so studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. But you can also tag us in your pictures wherever you post them, you know, on Facebook. Then we can have a good look. Yeah, because I also, and I know the guys do it too, but especially over on Instagram, if you tag me personally on Instagram, I'll always share your make onto my post as well. So hopefully more people get to see it as well. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? You guys having fun, crafting away, inspiring each other, and that's why it's so brilliant. Another amazing card, says Carletta. Cindy says, love your versions, Craig. Nona says, I'm going to number the layouts and put them in a jar. In another jar, I'll have different colour combinations, and the third will have things like male, female, Easter, Christmas, baptism, etc. I like that idea. And Wendy Graham says, I will have to get my layout collection and try it over the weekend. Yes, you certainly will. If you've got yours out and you haven't yet played with it, please do it this weekend. I've just received my Floral Elegance collection, says Beverly, and we'll be using on the last few layouts. We've got about 13.5 minutes left on the show. Can Craig do one more demo, I wonder?
Easy, yeah. This is no time whatsoever because I've got all the layers cut and I've got them all assembled. There's just one little cut that we have got ready. We've got everything ready, just one cut to do. So Butterfly Wishes here, Ben, and it's number 14 that we've done. So you can see we've created our 6x6 card, pattern paper, emboss, heat emboss. But what you can do, of course, following the sketch, but what about make it bigger? And if you've got hunky-dory collections or any other collections, and this is a good one to show here. We've got our 3 cards fanned out, which I've done there.
Yeah.
Now we've got our small circle heat emboss, but what I've done is I substituted to a large topper.
Okay.
Size doesn't matter. I've popped it in the same position by following the sketch. So let's assemble the one that I've got here. You can notice as well, I've made it bigger too. So with the measurement on the back here, following along, the difference is I've just changed the sizes. So here, where it's got the black and then the lilac, I've used this dark grey and the gold cardstock. So that is my first step that we've got. So it's kind of like step 1A. Let me just make sure I'm on my top fold of my card. So I'm going to put that in. This one here, step 1, Ben, they've got a piece of white cardstock that's been embossed. Well, I've just taken one of the coordinated papers, but notice as well, I've made it smaller than my layer as well.
Okay.
So if I take all of these off, and although I've changed the size, you can see I'm still following that sketch. I've got my 2 small mats and layers of my dark grey / dark brown with my gold, and then my printed cardstock that's the adorable scoreable instead of an embossed layer. So let's bring that in here, and I'm going to go in with a corner to the top and pop that into place there. Press that in. What we can then do at this point is they've gone in with 3 squares, different sizes from your die set, pattern paper, emboss, and then heat emboss. Well, I'm going to keep them all exactly the same. So I've taken the square that's 3 inch by 3 inch.
Okay.
So if we bring my tape in, my low tack tape, and we can bring in our plate. So we're going to do our base, we're going to do our frosted, and then we're going to do our top plate. We're going to run that one through. Now the only difference with this, for my gold layer, matte layer, I'm not going to use one of the bigger dies, Ben. What I'm going to do, or what I've done, is I've already cut a gold layer that's just slightly bigger with my guillotine. So if you want to use the next size up, you can do that, or I wanted a really small matte layer. So I've used my 3 inch square die from the Layout collection,
Yeah.
and then my gold card, I've just cut a couple of mils bigger,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Okay.
And then we're going to add our tape all the way round into place. So if we bring that in, what I've now got is I've now got 3 exactly the same. So instead of 3 different, I've just chosen to use 3 that are exactly the same. I'm going to add my tape on first. So I've got my tape on these ones here. So if I bring these off, and these 3 I'm going to keep completely flat. I'm not going to add any depth to these ones at all. So if I add my tape, bring this in, and then I'm going to I'm going to roughly pop it into place to start with.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to press too hard just yet, in case I need to move it. If I come in to there, I'm happy with that. I'm going to press that in. They've now gone in with a strip of pattern paper from the Layout collection. I've taken one of the border strips that was also within the topper sheets that came within this collection from Hunky Dory. So this one, just in case anyone wants to know, the collection was called Running Free.
Running Free.
I think it's a relatively new collection.
As in last year?
No, it's in last month.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Really new then.
Yeah, really new. Anne-Marie very kindly sent it to me. She knows that I've got a lot of... This is when I was going to break up and give you some for Daisy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, you were.
Oh, totally forgot about that.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
No,
It's
but I
all fine.
will, if you want to do a little bit of crafting with
Yeah.
her, 'cause it's all about horses.
I could feature Daisy on a next episode of Moseby's Makes.
There you go.
That'll get the viewers in.
There you go. I shall break this collection down, Ben, and bring
Oh.
some in for you.
Oh, are you sure?
Honestly, absolutely. Yeah, Anne-Marie very kindly sent it to me, so
Okay.
I will give you some.
Well, you are too kind.
But we've got our strip that we've got. Then number 6, they've got their die-cut butterfly where it's been heat embossed. This is where, instead of it being the die-cut circle, I'm going to use my topper. So let's take my foam pads off of there, and I'm going to pop it exactly where it says on the sketch. Press it in. And then they've got their little tag sentiment just down in the corner there. Well, I'm going to use one of the coordinated ones from the topper sheets. That's then going to go into here. So let me bring that in a little bit closer and press. And where it's got 3 gems in that top corner, I'm not going to put 3 gems. What I'm going to do is bring in some horseshoe MDF shapes that came within the collection. And I'm going to pop that there instead.
Love that.
So I'm positioning where the sketch says. I'm just changing what is positioned in place.
What number is this layout? Beverly's just asking.
So this one is layout number 14. So it's number 14, 6 by 6, but then that is how you can then make it bigger, use any of your other collections of other companies that you've got at home and change it to look that from that using number 14.
That is brilliant, isn't it? Isn't it? Do you know what? Why do we? I don't want to let great minds think alike. I was just thinking it'd be nice to get a vote for the demo of the show, wouldn't it? Whilst we just get ready to do that as well, thank you to Amber Rage, who says, awesome show. Love it and have a good weekend. Yes, 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 Ben, says Terry. More videos in the Moseby Makes channel. They're coming. I'm going to try and catch up with him because I think, how many videos do you reckon you got over on your YouTube page?
Videos, maybe
know.
about 30 odd or something.
Oh, only 30?
Yeah, there's not loads and loads.
Ah, I thought you were going to be talking like in the hundreds.
No.
I'll film 29 next week, see if I can catch up. But that's a great idea, says Jessica. And B says, this weekend, I don't know if you're going to know this off the top of your head, Craig, but she says, this weekend I'm pulling out the complete Roaring Twenties collection, which I got for my birthday last year, and I haven't used too much. Which of the recipes might you think would be a good place to start for the Roaring Twenties collection? I mean, of course he's got one ready. What number's that?
So,
how have you literally just plucked that out of the thin air?
That was originally, Ben, that was going to be my craft along the other week when I had the craft along, and that is number 1.
Start at the very beginning.
Start at the very beginning. So number 1, I followed each of the steps. So this has been done the exact same way. I just made it bigger, but I've used the Roaring Twenties instead.
Blooming marvellous. There you go. Just before I'll show you through everything again very quickly before the end of the show. Should we get that vote in and see which is your favourite make from the show? Craig, show us what you've made and let's find out what everyone's favourite card is.
Rightio. So we've got number 1. We've got number 2. We've got number 3. We're going to go number 4, or we've got number 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1.
Vote now. I'm a fan of 5, I've got to say. Jamie likes 3. Nicola, did you like 5? 5. Horses. She just went, 5, yeah, horses, woo! You've got about 2 minutes to get your vote in. Don't forget, right, I've got the board here to show you kind of the majority of what you're getting, but you, alongside what I'm about to show you, you will obviously get your folder. Inside your folder here, which is the lever arch style folder, you'll get your index. You're also going to get your magnetic die storage panels, 2 of those, and 2 stamp storage panels as well. Also, you're going to get printed papers that Craig showed you earlier. So 24 of your single-sided papers, 8x8, and 24 of your linen cardstock, 250 GSM, 6 colours, 4 of each. As far as the other kind of consumable elements that you've got in here are concerned, you've got your matching beautiful gems. These are 100 of these adhesive gems, got that beautiful sort of faceted design to them. Then you're also going to receive your stunning ribbon. This is satin ribbon, so 9 reels of ribbon. There's a metre of each. You're getting the 3 colours, but you've got the different thicknesses, of course, there as well. And then we get on to like all of the stuff which you're going to be using over and over and over. So all of these sentiment stamps. And what's nice about this as well is, whilst I see this as like a journey, as I say, and very similar in my mind to the Academy of Colour, you've still got loads of stamps and dies in here that you'll use almost like once you've completed this, if you know what I mean. So stamps in here that you'll use for things like, treat yourself, super friend, you are loved, birthday wishes, really, really useful stamp sentiments, as are, of course, all of the stamps that you're going to get to colour in with this set. So take these out of the layout collection, use these elsewhere in your projects, and they colour in, as you can see, absolutely beautifully, from birdhouses to bouquets, from teacups to cupcakes and flowers and everything else in between. Now you're also going to get embossing folders, which Craig has obviously been using. You've got 2 2D embossing folders, so that's your 5x5 with the florals. You've then also got in the 2D your 5x7 in those beautiful butterflies, and then you've got a 6x4, which I think one of the cards that Angela showed us, actually, she used this one. That's that 3D embossing folder, which is called the Blooming Flowers. Then you've got all of your dies, and there are loads, 48 actually in total. So your nesting oval dies, all the different increments of size, plus your outer detailed decorative die. Then you've got your circle dies. Again, you get the smaller ones, and then you get those larger ones too. Then you've got that in the same across your squares. So some smaller nesting dies with that beautiful scalloped edge, and then the larger ones with that same outer edge too. Then you're going to be getting your beautiful decorative border trio. You've got your decorative embellishment dies. And then, wow, I mean, there's still tons more. Just when you think you've finished with this collection, there's loads more. More decorative frame dies. So you've got that set of decorative frame dies, and then you've got tags in there too. So that one is your nesting dies, tags, and then you've got your banner dies included in there as well. It's $75.99. or $95.99 for your Showstopper, which includes the Wild at Heart 12x12, your 25 sheets of linen cardstock in the fabulous fuchsia, and your tape pen, which actually you're only paying an extra £15 or $20 for. Demo of the show is...
Number 5.
Marvellous. Hey, thank you for a fantastic show, Craig. Always inspirational.
You're very
Love that
welcome.
walkthrough. It was brilliant. Should we do it all over again on Monday?
Oh, let's do it. Do you fancy a craft along with
Go
the
on,
Cosmic
then.
Collection?
Go
Let's
on.
do that. Let's do, yes, let's do a craft along on Monday with the Cosmic
Do you
Collection.
fancy being perfect partners on Monday as well and having a Craft Vault Perfect Partner show?
Oh, go on then.
Go
You've
on
twisted
then.
my arm.
You. Thank you, Craig. Thank you also to Rachel and Jan on the socials tonight. Also, thank you to Jake. I forgot his name then. What's that guy called out there? Thank you also to Jamie and to Nicola as well. And most of all, thank you to you guys as well for watching. Have a brilliant weekend. Don't forget you can pick up all of your crafty fun across our various channels and on Crafters TV 24/7. And more importantly as well for our US viewers and indeed everyone who loves the football, enjoy the Super Bowl weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday, bright and breezy. Until then, bye for now.
Toodles!